Today I effed up by washing my underwear in the shower, without having a plug in the drain. So from the title you can probably see where I'm going with this. Disclaimer, I'm on mobile, also this happened a few hours ago so the humiliation is definitely still here baby. Hopefully this doesn't violate rule 4. I'll try to skirt around anything that could gross people out. However, if periods in general are not for you, then neither is this post. 17F, live in a household where my dad packs the washing machine. I hang it out, and my sister folds. Now before I get into it, I understand that this is a stupid thing to do, but whenever I get surprised by my period a few days early or a tampon just doesn't do its job, I tend to give my underpants a bit of a scrub and soak in the shower so that my dad doesn't have to deal with the grossness that is period blood. And more importantly, so that I don't feel embarrassed lol. So anyway, tonight was one of those nights where my period decided to pop in and say hey a week early, so I definitely was not expecting any bloody accidents for a little while. Honestly, yeah, inconvenient, but NBD hey? Just chucked M into the shower, turned on the tap, and fiddled around in the bathroom while the water heated up. This will be fine, right? Ha ha ha. Wrong. Feep up one. My sister and I share a bathroom. Both of us have long and thick hair. Therefore, taking out the plug and pulling out a mile of goopy hair is a highlight of the week we take turns enjoying. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that my sister had done this the night before and forgotten to put the plug back in. Feep up 2. I threw my underwear real far into the back of the shower, and turned the water on full blast to make sure it heated up quickly. This meant that the sizable drain was more than able to slurp up a pair of my bloody underpants in the time it took me to take off my socks and bra. So I stepped in the shower. Thought him strange. Thought I threw some underwear in here. Then it hit me. The open drain. The water not going down said drain. The visible absence of any gray and pink undies in any part of the bathroom. It dawned on me the latest addition to the train wreck of stupidity that is my life. Frantically, I spent the next 10 minutes desperately shoving anything I could down the drain, trying to hook some part of those bastard pants to drag them back up. Then I used a plunger. Then, resigned to my fate, I got dressed and went downstairs to tell my dad what had happened. Luckily, he seemed pretty amused, not so amused when he saw how much a plumber was going to cost to fix it and didn't make a big deal about it. So yeah, now my shower has to be pulled out and the pipe semi-removed so that we can retrieve the underwear that I so brilliantly decided needed a spa day. I'm just hoping that at least all the blood's been washed off. Otherwise y'all can expect another today I effed up from me tomorrow about a plumber and my favorite bloody underpants. TL, doctor, 17-year-old idiot got a surprise period. Decided to wash underwear in the bathtub. Didn't notice the plug had been taken out and now we need to pay for a plumber to remove my underpants from the realm of the pipes. Thanks for reading if you got this far lol. Now I'll be drowning in my humiliation while my lovely sister laughs at me. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'm glad your dad seemed to handle it well though lol. When I have a oopsie like that, I just wash them out in the bathroom sink. Cold water seems to work better, just a little tip. It prevents the blood from staining any other part of the undies in my experience, and I just put a little blob of soap on the stain and scrub away. Then you won't have to worry about clogging the drain anymore. Best of luck to you in the future lol. Undefined. Oh my god. The sink. I wish I'd thought of that. Definitely going to be my go-to option in the future, haha, thank you. I had to award you for this. My first thought was why didn't she use the sink? That's what my mom taught me. I am so sorry you had to learn the hard way, but I sure hope you don't have too much more trouble with stains. As the commenter you replied to pointed out, cold water will work a lot better and should help with the stains. Or you can accept the forever blood and be lazy. That's what I do /. Or buy a ton of black undies. 90% of my underwear is black now and never have to worry about blood stains. Yep. I've got mostly black, navy blue, and dark purple, a few older pairs that have a few stains and are now my overnight on my period underwear, and then a couple pairs of white for when I have to wear white shorts or pants. I've also found that the water-wicking athletic kind tends to not get stained easily because blood doesn't soak in very well. Tell your dad to try something like before hiring a plumber. Wow, I've never seen those before. Looks like it may be worth a try before investing in a 200 plumber lol. Thank you. You're welcome. It's certainly worth a shot before having to rip out everything. Use cold water to wash blood stains. It ensures there are no marks left afterwards. Whatever doesn't go away with cold water, soap and a good scrub should go away with hydrogen peroxide. But in my experience, if you wash fresh blood with cold water right away, it mostly goes away. Was looking for the use cold water tip. It's the same if you ever want to wash your hands after handling fish. Hot water cooks the stains/smells into your clothes/hands. Also, chicken egg stains are best handled with cold water. I second the sink and use peroxide if you need to get blood out of the clothing. Works wonders. Don't even worry about the plumber. People have periods, it's normal. Thank you. And yeah, my mom stigmatized them a bit for me, so I'm still getting used to the whole periods are natural mindset at my dad's place. Totally understandable. But don't beat yourself up, it's a natural process. The only FU was the panties going down the drain, lol. For your long hair problems, I highly recommend a tub shroom. I have the ultra version, which is metal instead of plastic, and it catches everything that goes down the drain without being an eyesore. Super easy to pull up and clean off regularly. Thank you. Definitely will give that a try. It's honestly been a game changer for me. Is your drain just an open hole? Every drain I've seen has a circular grate over it with 6 holes in it. Maybe it's just a UK thing. Most drains I've seen here in Australia are the same. My bathroom has a circular plug that can be closed by pressing it down, and taken out by twisting it, if that makes sense. There's no grate underneath that though. I have the same setup. Check Amazon or your local hardware store and invest in a hair catcher. I have one that looks like a mushroom and catches my hair, and I just clean it out. Yeah, I just got one of those recently and it's pretty peeping game changing. I love mine. Have had it for over 2 years, and I have long curly hair and using my fingers as a comb in the shower, and have never had a problem with my drain. 8 saved me a lot of headache. Lol. Actually the exact same situation for me with the long curly hair and the hand combing. I swear so much of that speep falls/gets pulled out. He's a dad with 2 daughters. I'm a dad with 2 daughters. No period underwear or trash can with pads is going to gross us out. But why? In the name of everything unholy, why do girls have to clog literally everything? Can confirm. Also a dad of 2 daughters. More than once I've had to power snake white mice out of a septic system. And hair. WTF, how are they not bald? Y'all have a wire coat hanger. Undo it and you should be able to fish it out if you and still see it in the drain. This may sound ridiculous, but we actually only have wooden coat hangers in my house. No, well, in times like these it helps to have a few laying around. I hate them, but they have come in handy quite a few times, lol. Yeah, I can see that they would be helpful. My dad's gonna get a drain snake thing after work today, so hopefully that works. If not, we might have to get a coat hanger, lol. Everything was handled beautifully. Just make sure to hide it from your sister or she'll make fun of you. It's too late for that. She overheard my conversation with our dad. I'll be dealing with period jokes for the foreseeable future. Good luck, sis. Plumbers won't be bothered at all by a little blood. For contrast, here is what they also deal with. Yeah, they've seen it all. 50-year-old father to 2 daughters here. If you think period blood is going to gross your father out, you are almost definitely massively underestimating him. Blood, from pretty much anywhere, would have to be one of the least unpleasant things to come out of a human that you get to deal with as a parent. Sure, rinse your knickers and soak them in some naphthalene or baking soda to lift any stains before you pop them in the machine. But don't be embarrassed by it. It's just a natural part of being a female, even if it doesn't feel like it at times, and your dad has likely been dealing with this since before you were born. If us fathers can mop up your blood and hold your hand when you come off your bike, we sure as hell can do the same when you have your period. Never stop leaning on dad. We love feeling like we are still needed when our little girls grow. I learned cold water and hydrogen peroxide are lifesavers when the red tide hits early. Also to use the sink. I want to know the size of your shower drain. That's impressive. Hi, plumber here. Don't worry. I've seen a lot worse, Speep. Literally. This is actually quite funny and hopefully can be easily fixed. All I'm trying to think is, how big are your drains or how tiny is your underwear? I thought that. Then reread 17F. Nope, those thoughts are illegal. I'm 45, and my peers have children your age. Your dad's a grown man. He probably knows more embarrassing things about you. If you can get over your embarrassment now, you can make him into an ally for life. It's a bit far in the future, but a lot of daughters end up being responsible for the care of their aging and dying parents, too. This is how it works. He saw you when were a baby and unable to stop speeping yourself, and in some future, you may end up wiping his ass. 3. My kids have firm instructions to take me out back behind the woodshed with a shotgun if that ever happens. Hydrogen peroxide takes out blood stains. I wonder if Drano dissolves panties. Periods may be embarrassing, but I'm fairly sure your dad would rather you got it than you didn't get it. If your plumber is telling you he has to pull the tub, then find a new peeping plumber. Get a snake and snake them out. Hell, a wire coat hanger has a good chance of working. This what I was thinking. Pull out the shower? What? I get it that you're 17. At 17, it's embarrassing. As you get older, not so much. Don't forget that dad dealt with your mom's period, too. He's past it. Same for the plumber. I work for a plumbing company. You would be very surprised what our techs pull out of drains on a regular basis. A pair of panties, bloodied or not, is nothing. We've all been there. Or at least 50% of us have. I usually turn the faucet on sink or tub and hold mine while running them under until the worst of the staining is gone, then just toss them in with the laundry. Maybe use a bit of hydrogen peroxide as others have suggested. Hope that the drain snake suggestions work, and remember that it happens to the best of us. If you do need a plumber, I guarantee they've seen all that and more. Wet vac will suck it right up. No need to bust the shower apart. Lived with my dad my whole life. Been in many variations of here. Glad you got some Reddit support, haha. You'll laugh at this later without also feeling embarrassed. Yeah, my dad's great with this sort of stuff, so hopefully soon I'll be able to haha. Don't use hot water on blood. It cooks the blood and makes it stain. Think about washing a sieve you have used for flour. Cold water gets it clean, but the hot water makes it stick. Use cold water, the blood will come out and not leave a weird stain. Pro tip: Oxy Clean does such a good job at removing blood that CSI forensics are concerned about it. I don't know if you're accepting advice here, but I would suggest using thin everyday panty liners. They saved me from so many surprise accidents where I know I'm not due for at least a week, but the period is there anyway. They are also very useful for everyday discharge. And the best thing is that they really don't cost much. I get a 100 for 6. Hope it's helpful and good luck out there. LPT, cold water gets out blood. Hot water sets the stain in. Also, sink. Not that uncommon to wash the underwear in the shower. I actually keep a gentle clothing soap within reach. I rather wash my underwear by hand and dry it outside the dryer. Makes it last longer. Also with period, the sooner you wash, better are the chances of removing the stain. Other than that, your dad seems pretty cool about it. So chill, it will be fine. This reminds me of when I was about 13 or 14 and accidentally dropped a bloody tampon in the toilet. Of course I flushed it. It flushed quite easily, which I was amazed about. I'm like, why in the world are there warnings everywhere not to flush tampons? It's much more hygienic. From that moment on, I flushed every damn tampon. Well, a few months later we had a huge sewage backup in our house. It was disgusting. No one knew what could have caused it. Plumbers had to dig up the pipes in our yard. Of course it was the tampons, and I was mortified. I cried, I was so embarrassed. Just the beginning of embarrassing menstrual mishaps. Pro tip: hot water cooks blood in. Cold water with salt added even takes the already dry blood out. Salt is amazing speep. If you ever have to clean up where an animal or person has been killed, get a box of salt. Sucks it right up. Used it for oil spills in a restaurant. Nicely written. The plumber shouldn't need to take anything significant apart. There's a clean out in the tub they can run a line through, or use a retriever, basically a spring on the end of the cable from the vent, or another clean out to yank it out. If there's a toilet nearby and it is now backing up into the tub when you flush it, then your undies are in the main line, and they wouldn't clean the line from the tub. Undefined. I don't quite get how your undies manage to fit down the plug hole. Is there no grill in your shower? Use cold water and a Savon de Marseille type hand soap in the sink. Hydrogen peroxide will probably bleach the color as well as the stain. You and your sister need a shower drain filter. They are cheap and are life-changing if you have long hair. It's just a filter you put over the drain hole. Some are plastic, some metal. I have one that is made of silicone rubber and stays out with small suction cups. Instead of having to fish the horrible hair snake out of the pipes, you can just collect the shedded amount over the filter every time and throw it right away. Way less disgusting and less inconvenient. I love how most of these comments are just people giving tips for if this happens in the future. I know it shouldn't actually be that remarkable, but it is nice to be reminded of that from time to time. You have a pretty fun writing style, in case you're still thinking about career paths. Agreed. I, too, was thinking of how great of a writer she could be if I was able to read everything without a hitch at op. Writing seems to come off naturally from you, and it was definitely fun reading your experience. Thanks for posting. Haha, oh honey, I'm so sorry, but this is hilarious. Word of advice from someone who worked in a vet clinic for 3 years doing the cleaning. Soak in the sink with some hydrogen peroxide for about 10 minutes with warmish water. Then rinse. Scrub with soap, dish or laundry. Rinse again. Should help. If it makes you feel better up. My little sister speeped herself at school when she was really little and flushed her underwear down the toilet to get rid of the evidence. I don't know if the teachers were exaggerating, but apparently a huge section of the pipes got blocked, and we couldn't use those bathrooms for a while. They also knew who it was, because the tag had my sister's name on it, lol. No, okay, please rinse with cold water first, love. You'll set the stain with hot. Other than that, I can just say I feel for you. Uterus problems.